Welcome to True North Perspective. My name is Sean. We're going to jump right into today's show. We have a lot to cover. Today's show, we're going to be covering the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel. There has been a lot of bombardment going on between the two countries. We'll look at how this got started, what the U.S.'s role is, and we're also going to look at the reactions from some of the governors of the United States, the leaders of the world. Personally, I'm surprised at some of the remarks that I've read. I've been disappointed and heartbroken at the same time for all the lives that have been lost. I will be dropping a lot of videos over the weekend because there is a lot to cover. So without further ado, let's jump right into the content. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is what stemmed this war. Okay, so the first thing that we need to look at is the actual nuclear agreement that was signed and that had actually been, put in place by Obama. I'm going to read you a very quick article that sums it up for you to make it easier so you kind of know what the context is. So, and this is a reporting by CNN, what happened to the last nuclear deal. That's where it all starts, because what this is all about is the fact that, Iran and US are not happy with the fact that U.S. and Israel are not happy with the fact that Iran has access to nuclear weapons, or is actually, developing nuclear weapons. So let's look at this very carefully. Under a 2015 nuclear deal struck by former President U.S. Barack Obama, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action (JCPOA), Iran agreed to drastically limit its number of centrifuges and cap uranium enrichment at levels far below those required to make weapons in exchange for sanction relief. But during his first term as president in 2018, Trump withdrew from the JCPOA. POA, saying the rotten structure of the agreement was not enough to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear bomb. He ramped up sanctions on Iran and threatened to sanction any country that helped the regime to obtain nuclear weapons. In his second term, Trump has revived efforts to strike a nuclear deal with Iran. Just hours before Israel's strike, the president cautioned Israel against launching an attack while U.S.-Iran talks are ongoing. As long as I think there's an agreement, I don't want them going in because that would blow it. Might help it. And I want you guys to pay attention to this very carefully. Might help it, actually, but also could blow it, Trump said. So technically, this is all over the agreement. Now, here's the thing, and here's the mind-boggling part, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me. The deal was signed and put in place by Obama. In 2016 or 2018, President Trump is in power. He rips up that agreement because he says that it's not good, and then he does nothing about it. He gets defeated in an election. Now he comes back in, and he wants to re-pick up that agreement. Tell me, who in their right mind would believe what Trump is going to say? So this is all about an agreement or nuclear weapons and, the use of nuclear energy that stems back to 2016, which was already solved. There was no reason to even look at this again, right? There were safety inspectors going to Iran, looking, and inspecting everything, making sure that, there was no illegal use going on. They weren't developing anything they're not supposed to. And they were passing the inspections all the time. And that is a fact. I'm giving you a fact right now. That is available for you to look on the internet. What happened is we get, a megalomaniac, a psychopath like Trump who comes in, decides that, Obama did it. I don't like him. I'm going to rip the agreement. And then he wants to strike a new deal. The deal never happens. He comes back into power. And now he started this whole entire unnecessary war over again. Okay. The other part that is really, really disturbing is the fact that Marco Rubio yesterday came up with just before the attacks happened or just after the attack happened. He came out with a statement, and it is mind-boggling because it is a complete, blatant lie. Let me be very upfront with you, and I'm not going to miss my words here. United States of America, okay, the Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, they knew exactly what was going to happen. They knew what the targets were. They knew when Israel was going to do this. They knew what the attack was going to look like, but they came out and they said that they have nothing to do with this attack, and they're still talking. So, let's make sense of this for a second here, okay? Let's make sense of this. The statement comes out that basically the U.S. has nothing to do with this attack. They tried to stop Israel, but Israel said that this is the only way to, make sure that, they basically have their safety in mind, and that basically they're able to, make sure that they are not in danger. Okay, but it completely gets turned out because Israeli officials themselves came out and said that they got the green light from Donald Trump. Okay, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you there's a whole bunch of articles that even show that. CNN reported it. There's AP reported it. It's all over the place. Trump is a goddamn liar. All right. And look at this entire picture right now. Right, Benjamin Netanyahu starts this war. Okay, he instigates this war. He hits Iran, and then he takes off on a flight to Greece or wherever he is. What a coward. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is still going through with his parade tomorrow. He's pretending like he has nothing to do with this war. But let me tell you, again, I'm not mincing my words. And this message is directly for Donald J. Trump. This is your war. You started this, okay? And secondly, you are now endangering the lives of millions of people, including Iranians, including Israelis, including your own U.S. people, okay? You've already called your own army suckers and losers, and now you're sending them again into the mouth of the death. And people still tend to, and if you look at the reactions of some of these egregious reactions of some of these the governors, it's mind-boggling. I'm so frustrated that my words are not coming out directly. But let's take a look at exactly what Marco Rubio's statement was yesterday. And again, Marco Rubio is a complete traitor. He's a liar. The entire regime is full of lies, full of deceit. They are endangering the lives of their own people, their own vets. They have no respect for the army, absolutely no respect for their own Marines. They're sending these people right into the mouth of death here. This is not the war of United States war. Okay, it shouldn't have been the United States war. This war was between Israel and between Iran, and instigated by Israel. There's no question about that. It is just very sad to see what's going on. So let's take a look here, and we'll go here. And there's a statement here. Tonight, Israel took unilateral action against Iran. We are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Israel advised us that they believe this action was necessary for its self-defense. President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel. So tell me about this. If Donald Trump and Marco Rubio were not aware of the situation, or were not aware that Israel was going to attack, why would they start moving personnel out? It just doesn't make sense, right? Why are you lying to people, right? We all know, everybody knows that Donald Trump is a warmonger, okay? He's a warmonger. He's a bootlicker. He has capitulated to Israel. And I have a feeling, again, I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling that Israel has something. Benjamin Netanyahu has something on Donald J. Trump. I mean, otherwise, who would do this? Let me show you one picture here that is, again, mind-boggling, and then we're going to get into another quick article. There's a picture, and unfortunately, I cannot find it. I had bookmarked it, where Donald Trump is actually pulling a chair out for Benjamin Netanyahu, who is a war criminal, who has murdered thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. He has blood on his hands, and you're pulling out the chair for him. It is outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous. And we're going to look at some reactions from other leaders as well, too. But let's keep going here. Let me very quickly show you what Donald Trump had to say. And again, it is a blatant lie. It is egregious, and he has endangered his entire country. So this was basically what had come out earlier this morning. I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come, and they know how to use it. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now. Imagine, the President of the United States is now threatening Iran. Read this carefully. They are all dead now, and it will only get worse. This has already begun great death. This has already been there has already been great death and destruction, and there's still time to make this slaughter. There's still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it. Just do it before it is too late. God bless you all. I ask you guys the question, those that are watching, which president, which leader in this tone, right? It's unbelievable. I don't understand. I don't understand. This is the number one common denominator here in all these wars that are happening right now is this man here. This man, along with Benjamin Netanyahu, this man, Donald J. Trump, needs to be arrested. The ICC needs to do something, because these are war crimes that are happening right now. This is illegal. You can't just start attacking another country willy-nilly because you think that they have better weapons than you, or because you think that they're going to attack you. Iran hasn't started a war in 200 years. It is unbelievable. Let's take a look at this quick video. And this video is recent, but it is J.D. Vance's words from a while ago, and I'll play it for you because it kind of puts everything into perspective here. So let's take a quick look at this video. It's only a minute, and we'll watch it very quickly.
President of the United States. You have J.D. Vance warns that the Israel and Iran conflict could lead to World War III. Now, as you know, last night, Israel bombed Iran, and Iran has returned in kind. And the expectation is that this is going to heat up and last for some time. And here is J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States.
You have Israel, Iran in a regional conflict. The Turks probably have to get involved. The Saudi Arabians probably have to get involved. And then that is the sort of thing that could balloon into World War III.
Yeah. There you go. And to be clear, that was 9 months ago. But how did we get here? We got here because the so-called greatest deal maker in the world trashed the deal that Obama created with Iran. The deal that was keeping peace in the Middle East, at least when it came to Iran, so he could make his own. But he failed. And now we are in the situation we are. All because of one person. Just like the recession that's coming in the United States, this is all because of Donald Trump. And this, his vice president warned would happen.
So you guys can see for yourself. The entire world knows, okay? You can try and hide it, and you can try and justify it, and the governors of the United States and the Congress people that support Israel can try and hide it and assume and pretend that, you know, Israel is a victim here. But we all know that they're not the victim. They instigated this attack. They had no reason to attack. They went in, you know, Mossad gave them, they were spying, they gave them details, they went in and they attacked Iran. Iran was not even ready for the attack, right? They decimated some of the nuclear plants. They killed some innocent people. They killed a general. They killed some scientists, right? And then they're saying, "Oh my God, pray for us, pray for us." So, you know, because we're going to be attacked. What do you expect? Are you going to go and shoot down somebody's nuclear plant and kill them? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to sit back and say, "Okay, it's all right," right? And what about the negotiations? Donald Trump still wants to negotiate. Is he crazy? You think Iran's going to put up with that? This is insane. This is absolutely insane. And then we have this war criminal here. This guy that is a murderer, that has a warrant out for his arrest, is now asking for a regime change in Iran. Who the fuck is he to even ask for a regime change in Iran, right? He's pleading with the people of Iran and saying that you guys should now stand up against the regime right now. Where is he getting this shit from?
J.D. Vance.
Right? This is the type of problems we have right now. It's unbelievable. Look at the destruction here, right? Tel Aviv was under a lot of fire. Iran retaliated it. You know, an innocent person did die. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is this here, Iran Observer. Look at this. It's disturbing. It is absolutely disturbing. And whilst all this is happening here, okay, you have numerous U.S. politicians. This was broken, you know, courtesy of Unusual Whales. Breaking: numerous U.S. politicians appear to have bought war stocks before Israel attacked Iran. U.S. Congressman Josh Gottheimer bought RTX, Raytheon, a weapons manufacturer, last month. Congressman Bruce Westerman bought RTX on April the 7th, 2025, and on March the 2nd, 2025. If this is not unusual activity, I don't know what is. So this look, basically why I'm showing you this guy, all this stuff, is that you guys know that this honestly was completely planned from the get-go. The minute that Donald Trump stepped into the office for his second term, this was bound to happen. Okay, he had taken money from a lot of Israeli supporters, one of them being Miriam Adelson. He's taken almost $200 million, and it's a quid pro quo. In return, he was told that let Benjamin Netanyahu have his way. And look what they're doing. They've decimated Palestine, Gaza, West Bank, and now they're after Iran. Israel has started a war with Palestine, has started a war with Lebanon, with Syria, and now with Iran. Now, please tell me who the warmonger is and who the aggressor here is. Like, this is insane. And then you have senators, and you have people that are supporting this, these Zionists. They're saying, hey, let's pray for Israel. Like, this is insane. And look at what Kyle Kulinski has to say. Mossad has a thick-ass file on every U.S. politician rushing to tweet they're praying for Israel immediately after Israel launched an illegal war of aggression against Iran. Okay, and this is also the reaction of Ayatollah Khamenei. Let's take a look at what he said. It's very short, it's only 21 seconds, so let's take a quick look.
نمیدانند بدانید هم میکنن تهدید به حمله نظامی میکنن اما به نظرم خودشون هم میدانند و اگر نمیدانند بدانند که اگر غلطی از اونها سر بزند جمهوری اسلامی تل آویو و حیفا رو با خاک یکسان خواهد کرد. تهدید هم میکنن، تهدید به حمله نظامی میکنن، اما به نظرم خودشون هم میدانن.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Again, I just want to recap by saying that the U.S. was involved because of one single person, because of Donald J. Trump, because he's a greedy pig. He wanted more money, and he was willing to do anything to become a billionaire. He accepted, donations from multiple Zionists and Israel supporters, and this is what we get in return today. Okay, he's a liar. He knew about this attack. He knew exactly what was coming. He hid it from U.S. citizens, and he continues to lie in all his pressers. Continues to lie in his pressers. Look at the stock market now. Look at the economy. He's a failed president. He's a failed president. And this message, if anybody's watching this, an American citizen, please deliver this message to Donald J. Trump that you are a loser. You're a thin-skinned loser. Right? You wage wars, you're a warmonger, you're a murderer, you're a sexual abuser, and it's been proven. You shouldn't even be in power at this moment. This is just, it's appalling. Honestly, it is appalling to see what is going on. It is appalling to see the reaction of some of the senators, and it's particularly the Republican senators that have come out and, who have said some stupid things, absolutely stupid things, and this is only the beginning. The other thing that I want to close off, before I want to close off, by saying is that there was an article that was actually published regarding attacks on nuclear plants. And let's take a look here for a second. I'm going to show you. And it clearly states, right, that nuclear plants, even in war, should not be attacked because, there is a huge chance that, there could be a leak, that, it could endanger the lives of many, many people. And again, Israel didn't consider that. They were trying to eliminate the threat of nuclear weapons, but they only basically made it worse because if there was a leak, many people would have died. Like this is unbelievable. These strikes, right, were not preemptive. Okay, they were not in self-defense. Okay, it was basically to make a statement. It was to go after Iran, and this is what happened. And yes, they had the blessings of the United States. They had the blessings of Donald J. Trump. Right now, it looks like Iran is attacking back. They are retaliating. The war is going on. Tel Aviv has been hit heavily. Iran has been hit heavily. We will break down, and we will break down what is going on even further in another video, and I will go over that article that was published by the article states exactly why a nuclear site should not be hit, and we'll get into that as well too, and you can see here that this is only going to get worse. It is just bad news all around for everybody. This is definitely the start of World War III, in my opinion. I mean, look at what's going on around in the world right now. You have Israel, warmongering with 3 different countries. You have, Ukraine and Russia. You have Pakistan and India. You have Yemen now getting involved as well too. The Houthis are, there's no doubt that they're not going to stay silent, right? This is just not right. Right? And again, the common denominator, the one person that is responsible for all of this is Donald J. Trump. Let me ask you this, in 5 months, have you ever heard of a president who has come in to power and in 5 months has either escalated wars, has started wars, has collapsed economies, has murdered people, through wars, has stopped aid to many different countries, and again, murdered people through the lack of aid? Okay, he's destroying and setting fire to his own country because the U.S. is split into half. It's become Democrats, blues versus the Reds. Imagine, this is what he likes. This is what he likes. He likes to destroy the world. And again, I'm not going to mince my words. All right, I'm not going to mince my words. I'm not going to, filter it because people need to know the truth. And I'm sorry if I kind of went very quickly and I repeated myself. I do apologize. I'm just a little bit steamed right now. But please join me in the next episode as we will cover more details. I will keep the story. I will keep you updated on the story, and make sure that you guys are up to date as well. And again, it's going to be completely unfiltered. We're going to also discuss the power outage that's actually happening in Gaza right now. They have no power, no water, no aid, nothing. They're sitting in the dark, right? Whilst Israel is now, in a war with Iran. Again, I'll end the video by saying, let's pray for all the innocent lives that have been affected by these wars. And let's hope that this ends soon and that, that I'm not right about World War III. And please, if you're in the United States, you're in the army, do the right thing. You're sworn an oath to the Constitution, right? Put that first. Don't get into wars that are not yours. Stand up to Donald Trump. He has completely obliterated this world right now. It is on fire because of him. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. I will keep you posted, and I'll see you in the next video.